so stupid.
It's been on my heart for a minute now. I ain't holding back no more. Even though y'all ain't seen this yet, just know we ready. Coming in with this water, flooded on me, just broke the levee. Had to go pray a little harder till my father life is heavy. Jesus gonna take that wheel and he gonna whip it like a Chevy. I don't wanna come in dead last. All my boys right beside me and they steadfast. I ain't tryna go look for new friends, they get scared fast. People gonna look at me like I'm crazy if my pants sag. Some of these folk probably think I'm lazy, I got jet lag. Saving these souls around the globe, I do digits. And I got a gift, so I need my partner home for Christmas. Sitting in prison, reading the scripture on forgiveness. Lord, forgive his. Father, let me down to sleep, I pray to Lord, my soul to kill. Got a whole lot just proud of me, I pray that you watch over me. Even though I've been sinning, I'm just lean on God, no more sipping. I'm gonna get baptized like my wrist is. I'm so glad you saved me. I'm so glad you saved me, you saved me, you saved me. I'm so glad you saved me, you saved me, you saved me. Can't believe you forgave me. I'm so glad you saved me. I'm so glad you saved me, you saved me, you saved me. I'm so glad you changed me, you changed me, you changed me. Every time I go through phases, I promise they don't faze me. Could've been locked in cages when the police came and chased me. Forget the ones that's hating, they don't know how good your grace be. I just wanna go to heaven, I know hell ain't got no aces. Used to live my life in past tense. 21 years I gave my folks embarrassment. 21 years trying to listen to the gangsters and the terrorists. Had a good life from the jump, but I ain't cherished it. Now I gotta go make it up for Glenn and Harriet. But I thank God for the east side. Even if I can't save everybody, we try. Lord, I got that one relationship to revive. Father, let me down to sleep, I pray to Lord, my soul to keep. Got a whole lot that's proud of me, I pray that you watch over me. Even though I've been sinning, I'm just lean on God, no more sipping. I'm gonna get baptized like my wrist did. I'm so glad you saved me. I'm so glad you saved me, you saved me, you saved me. I'm so glad you saved me, you saved me, you saved me. Can't believe you forgave me. I'm so glad you saved me. I'm so glad you saved me, you saved me, you saved me. I'm so glad you changed me, you changed me, you changed me.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. I'm your host. You already know the business, Minister Fred, too. And guess what? Man, we have made it literally to the very last week, literally the last day of this year. I'm pumped. I'm excited about our conversation today. Listen, when I say you have tuned in at the right time, right space, don't forget always to lock and load on No More Dirty Ink YouTube channel. This is the channel where you're going to grow. You're going to glean. You're going to be transformed in so many different ways. You're going to be like, this is a dope show. And it really is a dope show. And we do it every Saturday. So let me bring in my guest because we got a lot to cover. We are going to cover some of the things we have going on moving into the new year and what we got going on for the new year. All right, without any further ado, in the building, Dr. Demisha Burns, a.k.a. Kamali from No More Dirty Radio Show. What's up? What's going on?
You know it. What's up, everyone? Yes, Dr. Demisha B, aka your girl Kamali. Let you see with the No More Dirty Radio Show. It is a pleasure to be here as always.
We are super pumped. Aren't you excited about this being literally the last day, the last everything of this year? What's that? What? I woke up this morning like, this is the last day we're gonna see this. This is bananas. What about you?
It's done. I'm just so geeked. I'm so grateful for where God has brought us, and I'm so excited about what is to come. Going into a new season, dealing with, especially the topic and everything that is going on now, so important. So I know we're going to delve into self-care. It's just it's such a pleasure to be here on the very last day to literally talk and to assist people in, basically what they say, ushering in the new season, ushering in the new year, ushering in the fact that we need to take care of self and stuff. Yeah, so I'm good.
That's what's up. Well, listen, I think we do need to give them some backstory. So you actually are an entrepreneur, not just a sister in a queendom. We're talking about. I want you to share a little bit about your business pits and also making moves, because those are some amazing things that you've literally founded, and I think they should know that before we get in on our theme, self care. What's up? Tell us about pits.
All right, so PITS, perfect imperfection. So it's actually PIT squared solution. And so the first one is perfect imperfection, total transformation. And so that deals with the coaching, the mentoring, whatever, individuals, groups, things that people may need. But then we also have the other side where it's perfect imperfection, toolkit, and training. And so that's the workshops. That's, if people want anything from diversity to dealing with, sex health, sex ed, also dealing with anything from just trauma that people have gone through. So literally the whole gamut. My big thing is holistic care. We often talk in singular in this area, that area, but if you're not holistically sound, if you're not holistically together, you've totally missed the point. And so when it comes to PIT, it was like, let's hit both. We can, work on your individual self as well as working on whatever it is that you're wanting to transform, that you're wanting to, get better at, that you're wanting to learn from. And we also personalize, the different packages that are available. And so when that is under the umbrella of making moves, which we're turning into a nonprofit, just to really be able to, we constantly moving, like whatever it is that's going on, let's do it, whether it's in the States, whether it's out, whether we're doing inspirational speaking, or whether we're going to go help build a church, it doesn't matter. Let's do it, and so if you bought it, you ready to get into it,
Yeah.
I'm with you with.
Well, listen, I want to say thank you on behalf of the entire crew. Let me stop and give a big kudos to my partner, my buddy, the gentleman behind the scene. Everybody's like, "Yo, man, you guys got a dope set. Y'all be doing all that switching and all." I'd be like, "No, bro, that ain't me. That ain't me. That's my man, Professor X, and we gonna get him in at the end of the show so y'all can see him, because I see him all the time. But I think we need to give him some kudos, so like they do in spoken word. He's shaking his head. You gonna do this, brother? So anyway, also listen, folk. What I'm really excited about having Dr. Burns online and in the studio, because we're dealing with the theme of self care. But I want you to give them a little qualifying facts. Like, you're not just one of those young ladies that have just made transitional moves, but you literally have a PhD, a doctor's earned doctor's degree. Tell us about what you earned it in, and then also some of the places and some of the cases and the studies that you've done, just as a precursor to this theme, self care.
So I guess if I delved into it, so my background, yes, is in social work. I have a doctoral degree from Clark Atlanta University. I believe in upholding HBCUs, and I believe in dispelling the myths that, that good doctors and lawyers cannot be found in HBCUs. That's definitely not true. So let's debunk that now. And then the second piece, it's in policy planning and administration. And so just some of the things with that, and even before I started my doctorate, my big thing was, how can I give back? How can I really assist? So even as working on my doctorate, it's so interesting because I actually did a training on self-care for the social work students that were coming up, because in social work, you do so much. And a lot of times you don't think about it. You're just in the process of doing it, just like we are in life in general. And so some of the things that I've done just throughout some of the traveling, I was able to preach in Rwanda for 6 weeks. So really just being, and that was after the genocide. So really seeing some of the various things that took place. I was able to interview a young lady who had lost her husband and her two children, during the genocide, and somebody attempted to take her life. So literally, she has
Wow.
the mark of that was hit in her head. So you talk about the need for self-care, dude, she needs some self-care. And she was so amazing and
Wow.
literally just loving and forgiving and things of that sort. So did that piece, did South Africa. We took some students to South Africa just to give them another perspective. And these are some students who had never been out, had never been out of the Bay Area, had never been across the bridge, in some cases, going across the country, to just go and help, other places. I've done nonprofits, HIV, STIs, things like that. I've worked for in the government, the federal government. So literally across the board, work with Congresswoman Barbara Lee, was, blessed to be able to assist in some of her various roundtables and do some of her town halls and things of that sort. So I've been blessed to do a variety of different things throughout my time. And it ain't
And I
over.
think this is, go ahead. Obviously it's not, but I think this is important, And I'm really glad you were able to make the time, because we've been trying to get Dr. Burns for a minute, you all. The best we can get her to do is get her on our radio show. So, let's talk about this thing. We're going to dive in on self-care. And I think it's important because, like, when we leave this 24-hour span and you're listening to, we walk into not only a new year, but literally a new season, a new self. That's where we want to be moving into this new arena. So self-care, let's dig into self. I want to just kind of give us a little brief on self-care. What is self-care from that definition? Your understanding through experience and through the social work profession. And then I'm gonna share mine, and then we're gonna go into our first music video, and then come back, and we're gonna give them some let's do 7 tips that they can glean, so that when you leave today's program, when you turn this off, and I want you to share this with everybody, because hey, if you're struggling with understanding self and understanding the importance of care, oh my goodness, the conundrum of not taking care of yourself, you lose automatically in every advantage and in every season. Go ahead. Self-care.
Okay. So basically, self-care, I'm going to go a little bit from the actual definition, and then I'll delve further into it. So the actual definition is the practice of taking action to preserve one's own health. And another piece of is the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, and particularly during stressful periods of time. And the one thing I need to classify that, because a lot of people think of stress, they're like, oh my gosh, okay, I just lost somebody, or I just lost a job. But stress can also be positive times. You could be, you're getting married. It can be you just had a child. Like, it could be you're moving into the wonderful house that you wanted to move into. It could be a new job. So there's so many different things, and stress across the board are things that we have to think about, and we don't always put them in perspective. And so when we're talking about self, it's talking about making sure that you are taking time for you. It is not selfish. And unfortunately, a lot of people, if they're used to the way we've always been, when we start to take care of ourselves, people will automatically think, oh, you acting different, you acting funny. The reality is, it is about self-worth. It is about self-love. You cannot give 100% to somebody else if you are not 100% yourself. So that is a little bit about just self-care as we delve into it.
I ain't even gonna give mine until after we get through this video. So she getting so deep, I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to level up, even get me another degree. I think I'm gonna do that though for the new season and the new year. You already know I'm about that life. So we gonna give him some Bizzle, because Bizzle is another one of those amazing artists. And this time he featured his kids, and it's called Kitty Business, as in Bizz. We dropped the LE-ness. And he's got a song called Fill Me Up. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, self-care is about filling yourself up so that you can be able to fill others up by your very presence. We'll be right back. Dr. Burns, a.k.a. Kamali, in the building. The session, Bible, Beats, and Bars.
Did it on my own, ready for the next trick. Number 24, I played the game and left it. He was calling me, had to leave, had to exit. Sick of doing me, wonder he never blessed it. Now I do it for a new team. Got it out the mud, but I'm free. Said he won't forsake me, he with me still. The 2020 drained me, I need a refill. All I wanna do is be 100 with you, be 100 with you. Can't believe I wasted so much time running from you, running from you. I think I need a re-up, fill it up, fill it up. I just need a re-up, fill it up. Fill my cup.
G-O-M, God flow, no rush, ride slow, met the sun, so I had to level up, top flow, devil hunting, I'm too busy stunning like my pops though, Christ got the victory and trust me, it's not close, Jesus on the throne, can't nobody beat him, you'll never be alone, he said he never leave us, buried then he rose, and now we up, cause he up, sipping living water, got me ready for the re-up, let's go.
All I wanna do is Be 100 with you, be 100 with you. Can't believe I wasted so much time running from you, running from you. I think I need a real, fill it up, fill it up. I just need a real, fill it up, fill my cup.
Praise up high, hands high too. This is what you do when you need to feel your cup. Raise up high, hands high too. If you're going through, know that he can fill you up. He won't leave or forsake you. Ever know he's done so much more than you'll ever know.
All I wanna do is be 100 with you, be 100 with you. Can't believe I wasted so much time running from you, running from you. I think I need a real, fill it up, fill it up. I just need a real, fill it up, fill my cup.
No More Dirty TV show, hosted by Minister Fred 2, airing the cleanest and dopest music videos in the industry every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the No More Dirty Inc. YouTube channel. We got clean, positive Christian hip hop and urban music for your viewing and listening pleasure. We also have music video exclusives, interviews, ciphers, life lessons, and more. Make sure to follow us at Minister Fred 2, at No More Dirty Inc., and at No More Dirty Radio Show. For more information, email us at info@nomoredirty.org or call 256-698-9749. The No More Dirty TV Show. Connect with us, tune in.
Re-up. Welcome back to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. Hey, bring my girl in, yo. You already know Kamali's in the building. What's up, Kamali? What's happening? You like that joint? That was dope, wasn't it? Huh?
Oh yeah, that was flat. Love the munchkins out there. I'm like, come on, bring it.
Yeah, that's super dope. And I love the fact that when you take care of yourself, what I love about what's happening with Bizzo, like he's over God, over money. He's the founder of that. And he has a roster of amazing artists, one of which is my favorite, AI, The Anomaly. She's an amazing artist, female, just bars for none. But what I love about it is he takes the time, self-care for himself and his family. So he can give to his artists. He can be able to give, and he can extend the outreach, the ministry, the moments of glory, and he can do that in a way that. So let's dig right in on this. I think this is going to be super dope. We got these, the devil's always trying to mess with our stuff. I don't know what's wrong with this dude. We ain't giving him nothing. But at the end of the day, it's on and popping. But I'm just saying, one of the things we want to talk about when we think about self-care, there's 3 W's. And I want to introduce those 3 W's. This is the first one, Doc Burns. It is worship. What's the second one?
Working out.
And the third one?
For me, it's water, but I think you have a different third one.
For me, it's walking. I love the walking piece. So let's talk about that. Worship, right? Working out, and water. You got to keep that water in your system, because 70% of our body is literally water, and getting the walk in. Come on, talk about that. Why are those 3 in that order? Well, worship, workout, and then you can do the water and the walking.
Mm-hmm. So the big thing I'm about to say, especially starting off with worship, is that you have to be in tune with your higher power. If you're not getting that information, if you're not having that time to just talk with God, to talk with Spirit, just to get settled for the day, then everything throughout the day is going to come at you. Everything throughout the day is going to feel like, oh my gosh, like what's going on. And so it's important to have that grounding with your higher power. It's important to just take that time, be grateful, whatever the issues are. Like when you wake up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, literally that time right before you go to sleep and right when you wake up are like the most important times, because that's when your body is more susceptible to receive and to learn, various things. So that's why that piece is so important when it comes to worship, just getting grounded in that aspect. So,
And
so that's the worship.
I like to interject something in there real quick. So for those that are trying to figure out, do I need to, or is it a reality? Should I even consider starting my self-care with worship? Think of it this way. Worship is really taking the time to understand your purpose from someone or some higher power that says, listen, I believe in you. Even if you're struggling to believe, give your higher power. For us, I believe it's God, the most high creator. But whoever you decide in that moment, now let me tell you, I am a big believer in the most high. Because at the end of the day, listen, we are created for greatness. Now, when we walk into this new season, we're going to talk about some amazing things. How do you understand? How do you embrace greatness? How do you embrace the beauty of you if you don't take care of you? Like so worship is an amazing thing. I mean, if you're not worshiping with the Most High and getting in tune with a higher power, that God piece, as I put it all the time, you hear me say, if you ain't get it up right here, how you gonna get it right here? How are we gonna get it right here? Demisha went out again. How are we gonna get it right here if we don't have it here? I think that is important, because if it's not a vertical relationship, that's kind of crooked, then it makes it more challenging to be able to do that. So the second thing, we talked about worship. The second piece is, what did you say it would be? Working out. Talk about that.
Yes. So it's definitely.
You're good. Yeah, you're on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's definitely working out, just because it's always good to get that physical movement, just to get your body going, get your body, just it's good to stretch, it's good to, run, it's good to walk, as you said, whatever it is, that physical movement. Some people like to do yoga. Some people like to do hip hop Tabata. My preference, I enjoy hip hop Tabata. I enjoy cardio kickboxing. I enjoy anything that's going to get me moving. I also enjoy dancing. So I do a little bit of that, regular hardcore, make sure I get the muscles. And then I also transition into dancing, just because I think it's good to have a balance.
Well, for me, I enjoy doing a synced walk, which means I have my headphones on. I'm bumping my holy hip hop or my Christian hip hop, or even my clean set. Then I do a visual where I have, like, the VR. Sometimes I'll get that walk, and I'm doing it on my bike. And what happens is it pumps the adrenaline. It gets your endorphins going. It gets everything moving. So when you walk out the door, you're already in motion. You're already in some mobility. So that by the time you get to your job, you're not like, oh man, I'm tired already, because you have energy. You've built the energy. You're driven by energy, and you're driven by a relationship with that vertical. So that when you walk in horizontally and say good morning, or happy so-and-so, or what's going on, you come into a space where you've taken care of yourself. So if you're an employer, you take care of your employees. If you are an employee, then how you see your fellow coworkers, you see them as being people of care. And that is the care of, they say, a continuum of care. I mean, you got to be able to do something with that which you have. And that's how important I think it is. Anything else you want to share with that before we go to the third one?
So the other piece that I was talking about when it comes to the physical piece is that a lot of people get stuck and just, I don't know where to start. Literally get up and move, whatever it is that you like. And so one thing that I often recommend to people is trying a circuit. And sometimes, you can go to your local gym, to do a circuit. And then some people are like, I'm not comfortable yet going to a gym. That's fine. You can create a circuit even at the house. And if you have questions, you all can send us a message and we can help, like literally get you situated on various circuits. That's something that I used to do when I worked at Clark with the students there. I would literally create different programs for them to be able to move forward and just to be able to get active, because some just didn't know where to start. But the purpose,
Right.
just do it, whatever that is. If you want.
Yeah, so like you said, everybody just do it. Do it, do it, do it, whatever that is. If it's just getting out, for me, I love stretches. Get those stretches, the bars going, you know what I mean? We're going to go to this music video. Let's go to Miami. She got a song called God Don't Play About Us. He don't play, but you don't need to be playing about yourself. So get it together. Let's go. No more dirty. The session, Bible, beats, and bars. Man, hey, Kamali, bring her in, Professor. This is bananas. At the end of the day, woo, she bringing them bars. I mean, God don't play, and so we don't need to play. All right, let's get in on this next one. We got to talk about this next one. I'm gonna read it. It says, eat healthy, regular meals, and stay hydrated. Goes back to that third point you said earlier. Why is that so important that we need to really consider what we eat and try our best to be healthy? Dot, what you say?
So technically, when it comes to just our body, just as we said, so start with the water piece, just as you shared earlier, our body is mostly of water. And so literally to get our body started, which is why one of the first things when you get up in the morning, one of the first things you should put into your body is water. One, not only does it get your system going, but it also helps to flush out anything that was in there before. So everything from the night before, whether it be dinner, whether you woke up in the middle of the night, had a snack, it literally will flush it out. And that helps to go on and get your system going for the next day. So that is just a regular habit for everybody to go on and start. I know people are like, oh, I can't drink, 8 glasses or things of that sort. Just as we said with the physical exercise, start with one. The whole thing is just to start. And then also when we talk about the foods, God gave us food at the beginning, so different just, nuts and grains and things of that sort. And then of course, we have, come to a lot of elaborate various things, and that's fine, but you make sure that it's balanced. And so I know some people prefer to do intermittent fasting, and so that's taking all your meals in a particular amount of time. Some people eat, small mini meals, like depending on what their different health concerns or conditions are. For example, if you're diabetic, you'll have small mini meals throughout. Sometimes if you are working out, a lot of times increase that metabolism, then you're eating the smaller meals, throughout the day. Some of us just go back to the straight old school, the 3 meals a day. Afterwards, no more snacking, and so things of that sort.
Right.
So you have to figure out what works for you. Pay attention to your body. Your body will tell you. It's not about you trying to force anything into your body, because sometimes we're like, well, it's because you've trained your body to eat that way. So now, of course, you're going to have to untrain your body, to eat that way. And a lot of times, you'll hear the comment that it takes 21 days to make a habit. So just think about it. If you've been doing this various thing for all your life, and now you're like, oh, I'm going to switch, your body going to be like, I don't want that. So you have to train it to get it back into that process. So those are things, and just very important when it comes to what we eat, what we drink, what we intake into our body, and how we do it, and especially the timing as well.
I love that. All right, so I love that. I think you covered it really. The only thing I would add to that second point is that we just have to understand that our health really is the value of our wealth initially. You know what I'm saying? So if you are, how can I put it? If you say I'm going to make $1 million, but you don't put in the work of good investment, you never will acquire that wealth, that amount of money that equals wealth, right? So if you don't take the time to eat and search and say, what is healthy for me? Let me make sure I go see my doctor. Make sure I know what my blood type is and things of this nature. Then you or I may find ourselves in a situation where we think we're eating healthy, but we're really not. All right, Kamali, let's get into this third point. This one, it took me a while to get to, but I'm doing much better, and it's really helping me with my energy level. So, number 3, self-care. I'm going to say it like this, straight up. You got to make sleep a major priority. You just cannot be like, I'm going to get to rest sometime. What do you think? Sleep. What you got, Doc?
So no, yeah, when it comes to sleep, it definitely is something that you have to make sure you're getting. A lot of people feel as though, hey, okay, well, I didn't get to sleep here, so I'm going to catch up on the sleep tomorrow. No, you're not. Once that's gone, you do not get that time back. Once you
Right.
have lost that sleep, your body is now neglected basically of that sleep. And it is important to get your rest. And a lot of people will say, I can't sleep 7 to 8 hours. I get it. I get it. Somebody challenged me one day and they were like, hey, well, when you wake up, because I used to always wake up 6 hours, I'm generally good. And so they were like, well, then just lay there and just lay there and allow your body to rest and just to, absorb, talk to God, just, write. I love writing. So,
Mm,
just figuring out different things, but that rest is so important when we think about how we're getting ready for the next day, because it rejuvenates us. How do we
right.
think we're going to be ready for what's to come and then haven't allowed our bodies to be repowered from
Yeah.
what has gone out throughout today? And if you're as busy as I am and as busy as I know you are, then
Yep.
there's no way that we can get throughout a day without getting some kind of rest. Otherwise, we're literally starting at a depleted state. And so it's so important. And I know you like to share, with regards to the hours and before 12. So I'll let you do that piece. But yes, it is so important and it makes a big difference.
Yeah. You know what? Let me add this and then we're going to go to a video. Listen, this one's a really you may know about this, you may not. But every hour before 12 midnight is like getting 2 hours. So let's say you say I'm going to try and get into bed and get rested, at least be done with work and anything that causes my adrenaline to pump late night. So you get into bed at 10 and close your eyes and just kind of listen to easy listening music and fall asleep. 10 p.m. is 2 hours before midnight. So it's like getting 4 hours before midnight. So what happens is every hour before you get to that 12 a.m., you double up. So you can sleep 4 prior to midnight, and then you go another 4. You'll be ready, get your 8 hours in, and you up and ready and get to go exercising, getting your water, drinking, getting a full time in with God, and you're ready to roll. And then by the time you get dressed, you're gonna be super pumped. What do you think? What do you think, Doc?
No, it is so true. And it's like you'll feel the difference too. So I definitely would challenge, anyone, just try it. Try it out. If you're like, hey, I don't get into bed before 12, try to go to bed at 11:30.
Yep.
If 11:30, try to just start somewhere.
Yeah.
Take it slow. We're not asking and saying, hey, you go to bed at 12. Okay, no, go to bed at 10. No, because we also want to be realistic. We're human. But you need to start somewhere and realize that you are important. Because the other thing with that, with regards to self-care, is burnout is real. And a lot of times we're going to talk about burnout in the office and talk about burnout, and just the stress, in our occupations. But burnout is real even at home. If you're a caregiver, if you have, whether you have parents or elderly parents, whether you have children, like if you're moving and if you're in an active state, then it is very important to understand that burnout is real and it can hit anyone. So, those days where you're just overly tired and you're exhausted, you may be like, oh, I may be depressed. You may be depressed. You also may just be burning out. So it's always good to figure out what that is and what is going on, how your body responds to different things. But definitely starting with those small things and adding those pieces to your life will definitely make a difference.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's go to another music video. I'm thinking I want to do Gam Fam. They got a song called Run Up, Run Up. Because at some point, if you can make good on your time, if you can make good on what you're eating, and you say, listen, I'm not going to eat so much sweets. I'm going to work on trying to take in more vitamins, some vegetables. Maybe I'm going to just work on this drinking more water and maybe trying to get to bed by 10:30 versus 1 o'clock in the morning. You will be able to do like God Gam Fam. They say we're gonna run up, we're gonna get it together, and you'll be able to run this race with all kind of self-care priority. We'll be right back. No more dirty. You already know the business. The session, Bible Beats and Bars, with our special guest, Dr. Burns. I'm running already.
What's up, girl?
What's up, girl? How are you? I'm good. What's going on? I'm doing good. How's the husband? You know we good, girl.
All right, well, I'm gonna get my normal.
Okay.
Go change and hope you good. You gonna join us today when you get off?
You
All right.
I am.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Girl. See you
See
later.
Yeah, Miami. Yes, ma'am. God don't play about me, honey. You know what it is, 305. Let's get it. Yeah, he the way and he the truth. You know how face soldiers really do. This confidence be shining, baby, ooh. And I'm a Christians out there, ayy. Yeah, what it do? God don't play about me, yeah, you heard just what I said. And you know I'm about that bread, yeah, I mean that daily bread. Ayy, that word in the Bible is the best I ever read. Let me show you how we get it, baby, yeah, we never plan. Now you know we get knocked down, then we get right up. Plus we for it tough, only cause his word, it's enough. Then we look the enemy in his face like, yeah, boy, what's up? Now you know we're Christians and you know we gotta stand up. Cause we praise and worship God just like this. And we come through swaggy, baby, just like this. Don't ever get it twisted with a Christian like this. And we come through believe God and trust him like this. So no matter what comes our way, you know we ready to go. When we fall, the spirit gas us up and kick down that door. He reminds us who we are and that we really serve to go. And he the same yesterday, today, and all that before. So don't play about me, baby. God don't play about me, baby. God don't play about me, baby. And it's confidence he gave us, yeah, you know it's crazy. Ain't no miracle he can't do. Now you know how space soldiers do. We step over our issues with the truth. Like game one, how I was saying did the loop. Hey, let's get it, yeah. Ain't no miracle he can't do. Now you know how space soldiers do. We step over our issues with the truth. Like game one, how I was saying did the loop. Hey, let's get it, yeah. Yeah, it's clear the Simon understood and I ain't really stopping. Ain't no way I'm going back to life without him, it's just not popping. So you know I stand strong in him, so you know it ain't no stopping. Yeah, the enemy think he won, child, you know it's time to bust him. Yeah, we bring the word, get it popping, and you know it's up. We still highly favored, things go left, yeah, you know what's up. But then remember who we is and get in there and bang it up. Come out, face these fears and show 'em what we do and hang 'em up. Yeah, we Christians, baby, what you know about that? How we come through already, yeah, I told you big facts. Plus we pull up and pray and slay and really all that. With our God word in our life, we nothing that's that, baby.
Let's go.
Get up.
God don't play about me, baby. God don't play about me, baby. God don't play about me, baby. And it's confidence he gave us, yeah, you know it's crazy. Ain't no miracle he can't do. Now you know how space soldiers do. We step over our issues with the truth. Like game one, how I was saying did the loop. Hey, let's get it, yeah. So no matter the storm, we know the truth. Jesus got it, boo. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the session Bible Beats and Bars. I'm your host, Minister Fred. You know the business all day, every day. Listen, I want to do something real quick before we get in, and you can bring Kamali in as well if you like. But every Friday evening, we do the No More Dirty TV show. It's Friday evenings and actually on Wednesday evenings as well. But it's at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Now, here's the key to all of this. You got to make sure you are locked and loaded on our YouTube channel. That means you need to subscribe to No More Dirty INC. Make sure you subscribe, like it, and then hit that little bell, and bing, and you got all the notifications. So every Friday, we do the No More Dirty TV show, and on Wednesdays as well. Then on Saturdays, like we're doing here, is the session Bible Beats and Bars, and we do it at 2 o'clock on Saturdays. And then you can catch the replay on Mondays at 7:30 p.m. All right. Then on Sunday, you got No More Dirty Radio Show on G93. Shout out to my man Ed Gaines, and also shout out to my man You already know the chief over at We Up 103.1. That's at 6 p.m. And then on Sunday, Monday, because that's 6 and 7 is on Sunday. But on Mondays, we do envisionradio.com, envision-radio.com, and it's 4 p.m. Eastern, which is 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, well, now, bring her back in. Are you in the Burns? You there?
I'm here.
You can tell PhD level doctors, they take that second, they give you 2 seconds before they actually respond. They're like, so how do you do it? Well, let me begin like this. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, we're gonna get in on here. For real, it's like every person I interview on that's got a PhD or true PhD, not one that's given to them, but I'm talking about true PhD. They went and worked 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. They start out with, well, thank you. And then they give their comments. So listen, we're going to do a few more. I want to talk about, for self-care, finding or adding a relaxing activity to your weekly schedule. Why is that so important to have some downtime activities and not just chill?
I sure. It's good because it helps to literally get your mind switched on something else. I'm going to challenge you though, because you said downtime and and the relax. So for me, my my self care literally goes. I'm not trying to go down. I get up. I get angst. Like sometimes it's relaxing. So it really just you really have to be honest with yourself and what works for you. So for all those who don't want to, hear this, I do have various things, that work for me. Part of my self-care is working out. Part of my self-care is I enjoy the range, y'all. I do. It's a good relief. I don't know if I can say that on,
No,
those different bars, but I'm just saying.
You like to fire them up? Fire them off.
I am. And so, but yeah, so it is something that is definitely a relief, but figure out what works for you. I enjoy running. I know Minister Fred said he enjoys walking. I enjoy running. Like I did a marathon back in 2010 and it was absolutely amazing. I couldn't walk after for about a month, but it was good, in the process. So, so figure out what it is for you, whether it's playing music, whether it is, over the break, what I did with my niece, we literally made the friendship bracelets. I don't know if you remember the friendship bracelets, but we literally created them with yarn and, and things of that sort. So just taking some downtime. They also have the coloring books for adults. So that's also something that some people feel about.
Yeah, I actually got into that. Someone told me that, one of my coworkers told me about it. I said, hey, Fred, this is what I do. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay. And then they brought me one and said, hey, I want to give it to you. Tell me what you think. Got home one night and I was done early, no programs, no nothing, didn't have to do anything, no shows. And I was going to watch some Netflix because I love movies. That's my downtime or my activity that I interject my week. And I started working on it and I started coloring. Next thing I know, it was like an hour and a half later. And I was like, oh my goodness. It took me back to my days where I just love to create. And so now it's actually a part. So, they have those sip and painting. I like doing those different things and what have you. So in essence, self-care 4 is basically find and add an amazing, relaxing, or at least an activity that you will enjoy that's not work or it's not predicated on some type of work. Let me put it that way. Let's do another one. I like this one. What anything you want to add, or I want to go through this?
Right. Yeah. So just the last piece. And so you're right. That's not predicated on work. And then also that's not part of your regular routine.
Come on,
so like
say that.
if it's currently, if it's currently part of your actual routine, then technically that's part of, your different piece. Now, yes, you should make sure that you routinely put in self-care, but if it's something that you're doing now and you're just automatically, unless you already have a self-care routine, make sure that you add something else different. You're trying to switch your mind to say, hey, all right, this is my everyday, this is what I do. And then this is what I'm adding to intentionally take some time for me, to intentionally recuperate, where I don't have to think about anything else. Very important. So just wanted to add that piece.
Love it. Let me add one more too. Make sure that when you do decide what kind of activity you want to do, set a quality, some time, set time. Say, listen, I'm going to do this for an hour, at least an hour for me. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Set the time, give yourself some parameters so that you can be like, oh man, I love this. And so once you get into that regimen of doing things self care for yourself, you'll see a big difference in how you experience those fun things just for you. All right, I want to talk about another self care principle that I think works. I want to read this one. Set goals and priorities, which build balance, focus, and still allow you to execute tasks given. Set boundaries, set goals and priorities. Why is that important, Doc? Why is it important to add that to self care?
Right. So we had talked earlier about people, like once you start adjusting, people are going to think, oh my gosh, you're being selfish. Oh my gosh, I don't even know who you are anymore. But the reality is, when you're setting those things, you're helping not only to make sure that you hold yourself accountable for you, but you're also helping other people to be held accountable for you as well. A lot of times, and this is a lot of times we don't think about it, but a lot of times people are like, me. If I want your time, then I want your time. You should be available. But the
Right.
reality is, sometimes we have to set up that time. Like, our time is precious. We're
Yeah.
precious. And so we have to understand that, and to help other people understand that me taking this time is not kicking you to the curb, but it's saying that I'm important enough to say that this is what I need right now, and I can't have any interruptions. And so it's like, unless, of course, an emergency, I get it. But you have to be intentional in that. And I guarantee you, and this is the piece that I put with this one, don't get frustrated when, once you try this, everybody's going to seem to want you at the same time. What it is, it's the universe. Just it happens every time. I kid you not. So
You're
do
right.
not get frustrated. Well, you can get, but don't give up. Don't give up. What it is the universe is like, are you serious about this? Do you really want to do this? All this other stuff. And so that's all it is. Once you get past that and you stick with it, you will see that things start falling in the line. You will see that people start respecting that time, but you have to be consistent with it. You have to make sure that you're saying, when they come in, no, I'm sorry, and do it politely. Don't be rude. Don't be rude,
Yeah.
because that's not
Please
okay.
don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
And it's really okay to say, not right now. Let me get back with you. One. Another one I use now that it took me a while to do, Doc, is I had to say, well, let me look at my schedule. Can you give me 24 hours, give me to the end of the day? Sure,
Mhm.
sure, Fran, sure, And then I was able to say, hey, listen, or send a text,
Mhm.
especially if it's someone that you can't say no to,
Right.
respond with a text
Mhm.
and say, hey, listen, I'm kind of caught up. I'm a little busy.
Mhm.
Let's reschedule. Let's
Mhm.
reschedule. Um, Not right now is another one. And I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you reaching out. It would be better if we could do it and then give them a time again, give them a time frame and allow them to go, okay, cool, or call me back. And then the last one,
Right.
which
Right.
I have learned, Doc, is I have learned, and this was the hardest thing for me because I love people, but I had to turn my phone off. I had to turn my phone off completely. Listen, turn it
One
off.
minute. Phone. You turned it off.
I turned my phone off. When Tuesdays come, if you try to reach me on my phone,
What?
you'll get the voicemail. Oh, this is Minister Fred. Hey, thanks for calling. If you're interested in such and such, press one.
Yeah. I'm so proud. I am so
For
proud.
real, for real. Because
Mhm.
if I never turned my phone off, I would never get to see I love movies. I would never get to see the new releases. I'd never be able to sit home and just chill out. I wouldn't cook. I like cooking, all that kind of stuff. So those are like my pastime. I know I'm animated. Pray for me. Pray for me. I
No,
had to
it's,
get
it's okay, but you're so right about to say, and that is so true. And one of the things is, especially with work. So there's a comment that I learned. I believe it's by Frederick Douglass, but don't quote me. Um, it was, what did he say? Procrastination on your part does not
mm,
constitute an emergency of mine. That is a
come
phrase
on
that
now.
I love, because if we're at work and something is going, a lot of times, yeah, everything, and actually not even just at work, everything is urgent to everybody else. I mean, even think about us when we're doing something and we're like, oh, hey, I want to get this right now. So we have to think about it as well when we try to reach out to somebody else. We're like, you got to respect it. I'm just saying, it's mutual, but it's so important. I'm just saying, that's real.
You're
That's real.
right, though. You're
So,
absolutely right, yo.
but
Absolutely
but
right.
it really is finding, that one. And so that was for setting the goals and priorities, and then definitely for practicing gratitude. You all, life is amazing.
Yes.
Every day, get is a gift, which is why it is called the present. And we need to be very, very cognizant about that. We need to about that. There is something my sister actually put me up on game with this when she challenged me one day, and she was like, you move. She was like, you're constantly going. She said, I challenge you to stop and to breathe for 1 minute. And I was like, oh, cool. She was like, bet tomorrow, go throughout the day, stop and breathe 1 minute. We're gonna talk at the end of the day, y'all. Do you know? I got to the end of the day. She called and I was like, oh, and it you have to be intentional.
Right.
Life is a gift. You have to take that time, to just
Mm.
enjoy and to pause and just to breathe. God gave us the breath of life. It is ours. We need to take that time to just exhale out what is going on, and inhale in all the goodness and the greatness that God has given us.
I want to just go ahead and add two more, and then we're gonna let them out. We'll give them a couple music videos on the back end. One of the other things about being grateful or gratitude is that it takes time to reflect on oneself and how I am impacted by
Mm,
either someone else being showing gratitude or me being grateful for, like, for instance, I'm grateful that you're on our show. I'm grateful for Professor X every week. I mean, we
Gosh,
do this without fail. And when I start to think about you and I think about the hundreds of thousands of viewers and everybody that listens to the radio show, it brings a smile to my face. It makes me think, wow, you took the time to care about me and the team No More Dirty, to listen to us every Sunday at 5 p.m. on G93, every Sunday at 6 p.m. on We Up, or Monday evenings, afternoon evenings at 4 o'clock on Envision Dash Radio. Then I smile. Then my heart's happy. Then I just want to go do something different. Then I want to go say thank you to the owners. Then I want to say, it's contagious when you show gratitude. It's contagious. What do you think, Doc?
no. Okay, Karen.
I hear
No,
you.
it is so important. Sorry. It is so important, when it comes to just saying thank you and just pausing and even just starting our day with just a grateful attitude
Yeah.
and just really, really, pushing off. We never know what a smile may do for somebody. We never know what just holding a door or just saying thank you or saying hi, how you doing? Or just like whatever the case may be. And even more so, we need to be grateful for actually just waking up. So
Yeah.
starting that off. But like I don't know what to say to God. I don't know what to say to Spirit. Thank you. Thank you for giving me another day. Thank you for giving
Yeah.
me the breath that I have in my body. Thank you for another year, y'all. This is the last day of the year. Thank you for getting me through another year, and going through and that peace. And then, right. So, and then, one thing I remember one of the previous times when I was able to be in town for Bible Beats and Bars, I was challenged. Somebody asked me if I was going to spit some bars. I didn't even tell Mr. Fred this, y'all, that I've been practicing since the last day of the year. So I figured I write anyway. I was like, let me see if I can flip this. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, though. I'm just saying. All right.
Did great. You actually did great. You did
All right.
great.
So, y'all ready? Hold on. So, I started late, so you counted me for out. But you didn't factor who's the one oh, hold on. But you didn't factor who's the one who matters and the one with all the clout. He gave his life to ensure that I would live, and on the cross he saved the lost, and through his blood all is forgive. You still got questions, still in denial. That comes from Satan, who always hating and putting us all on trial. Feel free to let go. Come to the one who knows, because on the day when clouds roll away, you'll see the one who runs the show. Nothing left to say, got nothing to prove. So choose today who you'll obey, for this game is win or lose. I'm just saying. Don't judge. Don't.
And they go crazy. And they go, I didn't know that you could rap too. Hey, that was dope.
I'm going to go
Dope
back to my
bar.
spoken word. But
No, but I think you're absolutely right. I think at some point we just have to be grateful and
yeah,
practice gratitude. That's the thing. It's one thing to say, man,
yeah,
oh God, I'm grateful, but then don't practice it on nobody
right,
else. Don't say,
right.
hey, I appreciate you, or happy birthday, or how's your day? And oh man,
Mhm,
can I help you? Opening the doors
yeah,
and I got you on lunch. Do something to show the gratitude that you are
right.
grateful. You know?
Yes.
All right, so we
It's
got to
important.
Go ahead. It really is. I mean, yeah, it really is. I don't want to get too far in on that, but when you're grateful, it says to everyone in your space and those that are watching from a different space
Right.
that you care but enough about them, so
Mhm.
you must really care about yourself. Self-care.
Right. Definitely self-care. And it's not
Mm,
selfish. No is a full sentence. Like all these different things that go into it. Take time for you. It really speaks to your self-love. It really speaks to your self-worth. Because when you're okay, you get to assist others in making sure that they're okay. And that's what's so important because that also goes to the attitude of gratitude.
I love it. So I want to do, I'm gonna throw two more out and then we'll wrap up. And we're gonna end with some of that God energy with my man, Monster Tarver. And we want to pray for the folk too to close out this year. Self-care 6, here's the points. Focus on positivity and spiritual growth. Positivity, focus on it. Don't just talk about it. Focus on it. What does positivity look like? How does that feel? When I'm involved in something that's positive, what kind of energy do I give? What kind of energy do I receive? Is it an imprint or is it an impact? What do you think, Doc?
Mm. Ooh, ooh. I think it's both, actually, to be real. I think it is both. And you're right. I'm about to say when we imprint on individuals, when we have that impact on individuals, so the whole thing is when people walk away from us,
Yeah.
they're ever going to be moved or touched in some way, shape, or form. Whether they're saying I don't ever want to see them again, or they're like, oh, there was something about that person. One of my professors, actually Dr. Fraser, y'all. For those who know her, she is absolutely amazing. She was our chair when I was an undergrad at Oakwood
Mhm.
College, before now Oakwood University. And so, but one thing she said to us as we were going to the field of social work, she said, the difference is when we go into people's lives or people's homes, we get to go back to our own homes. But the impact that we've had on their lives
Wow.
will last forever. And
Wow.
so just true food for thought when it comes to that impact and that imprint. And I remember that since, and that was years ago.
Mm.
So,
And I think there's a difference between impact. When you impact, it's how you hit something, how it lands. Imprint is when
mhm.
you walk away, what's left. When
Man,
you
yeah,
walk away, is love left? Is
shit.
the ability to press forward? Is it an imprint? It's like when you hit a wall and you knock an indent in the wall, and you not only feel it, the impact, but there's an imprint in the wall. That guy can swing. That says can hit. And so the bottom line is when we talk about focusing on positivity and spirituality, we're talking about, does your positiveness just by your self-care, just you being you, does the spiritual growth that comes out of you just being you, when you come into a space, does it change it? When you leave a place, do you leave some residue? I mean, I want to be a better person because man, every time he comes out, man, she makes me feel like I can do it. I can walk on water, you know? And then
Yeah.
finally, I know we took a minute, but I just think it's important that you get this on this final day of this year moving into, or this final week where you are on the scope. Stay connected with others driven by good and God energy. Stay connected. We were never designed to be alone. Doc, what you say?
Mhm.
You're a social worker.
It's so important. Mhm. Iron sharpens iron, and so it is so important. What we have to realize is that as we surround people, we get a choice. So there's one thing when we're little, and we're like we have to go where our parents take us. As we become adults, we choose who's going to be in our circle. It's sort of
Yeah.
like the whole thing of, oh my gosh, well, I was born into the wrong family. Yeah, you can literally choose your family as you get older. Blood is literally just showing that we have DNA that's connected, but your family, who you're connected with. Now, some of that, yes, is blood, but then other people around us, who's going to hold us accountable? Because you don't want just a yes corner. Who's going to
Right.
lift us up? If we're going through something, are they going to stop and pray with us? Are they gonna stop us if they see us going through something? They'd be like, "Hey, let's pause for a minute. Hey, let me just pray for you." and sometimes even just pray silently for us when we're not in that mental, space. And so
Yeah.
then that other piece is, you have somebody who is connected to the higher power. I mean, they're going to touch base with the higher power before they even interact with you. So
Come on.
you're in that same space, you're moving forward. And the comment just in general, even outside the spiritual realm, is that if you're the smartest person in your group, you probably need to get another group. Just saying.
Come on now. If you're the
Just saying.
smartest in your group, I feel like I'm not the smartest in my group. I'm gonna have to work on that. I'm gonna have to work.
We
Okay, so I
leveling
want
up,
you to
y'all.
pray for me that I work on
Leveling
that.
up.
Professor X is looking at me like, really? Yes, really. This is a serious situation, sir. So listen, again, let's hit him with the number one. Number one, the three W's: worship, workout. She says, what's your third one?
Water. Water.
Walk and walk.
Water, and yours is walking.
Yeah, I'm about to say yours is different from mine. Okay, and then after
Right.
that, eat healthy, regular meals. Figure that out, whatever that
Right.
combination is. Throw you some vitamin, a one
Mhm.
a day vitamin in there, so you get you a boost that's natural and organic. And then also stay
Yes.
hydrated. If you aren't drinking water and you're 70%, you're gonna dehydrate by the time an 8 hour
Right.
day. Drink some
And
water,
you will
people.
feel it.
You will,
Mhm.
you will.
And
And the
yeah.
food ain't gonna be right because you're gonna be like you'll be swallowing down the food and be like, man, I'm thirsty. Really? Drink some water.
Yeah, no, that's true. They talk about that hangry and stuff like that. Like it's really
Oh my
important. Like
goodness.
all of that goes together.
Oh my
So,
goodness. When I don't eat, I mean,
mhm.
y'all pray for me that I don't ever not eat. Oh, anyway, then you got on top of that, then you want to make sure that you make sleep a priority. Try and get into bed a couple hours, at least an hour or two before the end of the before midnight. Don't forget
Right.
relaxing. You find you some activities, right? Activities, Doc, will be good.
Right.
Self
About
care.
the that's not. Yep. Make sure you're adding that activity, and then going into setting goals and priorities. Making sure that you're putting that in there, and then also practicing gratitude. So really
Yeah.
being thankful and really being gracious. If you have your closed hand, you can't receive what God has, and you can't give to other people. So
Right.
definitely going
And then
into.
you got to stay
Mm,
positive, and that spiritual piece is a mandate. And then lastly,
right.
stay connected with people that's about that life, about self-care, about seeing you better and seeing they want to see you at your optimum game, at your A game, as they put it. You know what I mean? Anything else you want to leave before
Oh
you
yeah.
or you want to toss a prayer for us? What you got? What you got for us?
Shay. So the last thing just final that I would say is that we are made in the image of God. So if we're
Mm,
made in the image of God, and if God gave the example in the beginning, took the seventh day and rested, then clearly he was setting that example. Let us
yeah.
lead by example. Let us follow his example and lead others who are looking for that example to know that we are important, to know that they're important, and to know that, and I've said this before, do not use your spirituality, do not use working for God or doing the various things, in the name of religious or whatever the case may be, to
Mm,
justify you burning yourself into the ground, to justify you running and not stopping, to justify you not taking a moment to take care of yourself.
yeah.
It's important.
I love that. So let me pray. Do you want? Why don't you pray for the ladies? I'm gonna pray for the gentlemen, and then we'll go out with my man Monster Tarver with God energy because we need some God energy as we enter into this new. And by the way, Happy New Year's. What do you think? It's a Happy New Year's, y'all. We about this life.
I say happy new year. All right, let us pray. Our Mother, Father God, thank you so much for another day of life. Thank you for just being the Alpha and Omega. Thank you for all that you have done, all those things that we have seen, all those things that we have not seen. Thank you for what you're currently doing and what you're going to do. Lord, right now, we lift up specifically the ladies, Lord. You know the various things that are going on. Each lady that is tuned in, each lady that is connected to whoever is tuned in, Lord, we ask that you will just send your blessings down upon them, Lord. Send your holy angels to just encamp around them, Father. We know sometimes we get caught up in life. We know sometimes we get caught up in, holding down the home, sometimes in the cooking and the feeding and taking care of the children and, and connecting with work and, really being there for our mate. And then it's time to find that time for us. Lord, sometimes we make those excuses to say, I don't have time. But Lord, help us find that time and understand that you you created that time for us. We just have to be open to receive it. So Lord, ask that as we finish out this year and as we enter into the next, that we will be intentional on taking that time because we're important. And even more so, we're important because if we're not at our 100%, we can't give that 100% to our family, to our mate, to the world, to the ministries that you've given us. Lord, forgive us for our sins and our shortcomings. And if there's anything that keeps this prayer from getting to you, we ask you to take it away. Anything that we have thought to ask, we ask that you have thought not to grant it. And we will be careful to give you all the praise, the honor, and the glory. All these things we pray in your precious name, Ashe and Amen.
And God, as we just want to take time to pray for all of our brothers, all of our king and our princes that are in the building and that are around the world. And listen, Lord, we want to be at our best. Lord, you created Adam to be a protector, a provider, a priest, and a great playmate. So, God, I ask now that you would do that for us as men. Help us always remember our role as king and in the kingdom. Help us to always respect our queens and our children and even in the workplace and in the common places in life. I ask God that you would allow us to know our purpose, give us destiny, then give us the fortitude to understand that when we as men take care of ourselves, self-care, it makes it more purposeful to make sure our queens and the love of our lives and our family members and our parents and our guardians, help us to treat them in such a way that the care we have for ourselves spills over into their lives. And we'll be sure to give you honor and praise. Now, Lord, provide for us as men. Show us how to be the best providers we can be. Help us to be the great best and the greatest lovers we can be. Help us to be the greatest mate. And help us to be able to see our queens as our counterparts. I mean, on our side, not in front, not in back, but as we continue to walk hand in hand and serve our community, and help us as men to step to the front of service and not be the last. So we thank you in the name of Yeshua the Christ, who is a man that made himself known to us all. We thank you for this year. We thank you for the new year. We thank you for safety and guidance, and bless us as you only do so well. Bless us individually, collectively, and also be with us here at No More Dirty, that we'll always keep it clean. And we'll always keep it no more dirty, so that others might know that they can do exceedingly abundantly above because they're great. And there's no weapon formed against them and us because we are your heritage. In the worthy name of Yeshua the Christ, who is Jesus of the Bible, amen. Yo, thank you for being a part. I'm telling you, this is on and popping. God is good all the time. And thank you for taking time. We want to say again, enjoy this evening. Savor these moments. Realize how good God is and how great you are. And remember that self-care is the beginning of your greatness. Next week, we're going to have a great time. We'll be in the new year, the new season, and we're going to talk about how to walk into your new season and how to do that. And take care. God bless. You already know the business. Are you in the building? Are you in the building, Dr. Kamali? You in the building? Any closing remarks? I got excited. I got a little excited. You know, this is the last day. Like we ain't gonna see this no more.
Happy New Year. Okay.
All right, we'll see you. Enjoy this track. Yo, you already know you got that God energy. Vibe with it, live it, and give it. We'll see you. Happy New Year's. We'll see you on the other side. New season, new beliefs.
Happy New Year. Look forward to next time.
You got it. You're going to be with me.
Oh, well, yeah, I think I'm scared. Yeah. I think I've quit it.
Next week. Let's do this next week. Talk about some new season stuff. All right, we'll see y'all. Enjoy.
Right.
Professor, get us out of here, brother. I'm having a ball. I'm having a ball, brother. I won't get off this mic, bro.
Responsibility, but at some point we're gonna actually have to do what he said. Yeah, run up, yeah, slapping on one and I'm turning the cheek. Run up, yeah, force me one and I go with you three. Run up, yeah, run up, yeah, come on, run up, run up, yeah. Watch me lift the sun up, son. He was hung up, strung up, flung up, so to sum up, he'll get brung up if you run up, run up, run up, run up, run up. If we think the killer's a joke, well, really it wasn't. If we could provoke, yeah, we beat up the brethren, the sauce on the stove, yeah. Get up in these lyrics and smother it. Talk to the brethren, open the covenant, tell them the difference and keep the big government. When the Lord is my shepherd and hope, there is no weapon, nothing that you can do to me. Nothing you prove to be, there is no foolery to fool me to lose my jubilee. I gain in a eulogy if I hang a jewelry. If I bang, then I bang, and the tool will be right by the tree, right under my body, right next to where the fruit will be. Try me, I said it, and whether they shred us like let us behead us, as long as they medicines, closing their crevice, I pray that the body eat from it like beggars. But if it's a little marker of his words, and they get a little sloppy with the verbs, and I get a little cocky with the verse, every time that pop it gets disturbed, a slap I could beat that. We let we rap, say how we crack, and if we roll it, then we crap, and if we act like it's part of our nature, and we black, and defies the scripture, then we clap, fake repenting, and we back, spiritual, then relapse, and the fight videos and speed traps. Yeah, slapping on one and I'm turning the cheek. Run up, yeah, force me one and I go with you three. Run up, yeah. There's no longer teeth for the teeth. You taking my cookie, they give you the fleece. You ask me for it, I give you the feed. Run up, yeah, run up, run up, yeah. Watch me lift the sun up, sun up. He was hung up, strung up, flung up, so to sum up, he'll get rung up if you run up, run up, run up, run up, run up.
Hey, run up on me like we talk about fitness, like I just seen a crime. They know that I witness you coming in closer, and you about to get it turned from my wicked way. Just watch how I pivot. Yeah, I can begin again. Got a new life, I'm brand new like amphibian. You know I'm different. He took my wrongs and cast them to oblivion. Hey, so run up if you really want to get done up. Some of y'all toast no butter. You ain't gotta need close no wonder. Yeah, they thought when he died on the cross he was done, but they ain't realize that decision was dumb. Cause on the third day he would rise like the sun. Treat my haters like Forrest. I tell them to run
up. Yeah, slapping on one and I'm turning the cheek. Run up. Yeah, force me one and I go with you three. Run up. Yeah, there's no longer teeth for the teeth. You taking my cookie, they give you the fleece. You ask me for it, I give you the feed. Run up. Yeah, run up. Run up. Yeah, watch me lift the sun up, sun up. He was hung up, strung up, flung up, so to sum up, he'll get brung up if you run up, run up, run up, run up, run up.
Well, it must be close to the Armageddon, Lord. No, but I won't fly by the election, and I won't wild out the selection. If you don't bow down the direction, and they gon' follow out with the message, and I'm gon' follow out with the weapons, and we won't wild with the lesson, and we go hard. It don't matter the precedent. We need the Bible, need survival. He will defeat the rivals. He was tribal when they repeat the cycle. We will fight, and they will appease your light or even try to, but we march. Ain't no one stopping us when we start. Rolling with God, and it's from the heart. Trying to trick us into taking the mark, exploiting the children and calling it art. And we was living it, he was forgiving it, and it's time for admitting it and doing your part. People are trying to make it political, there is no individual when the time it is critical to march. And they try to prime with the climate and provide us with lies. Everybody fine with it, the design, there is time and it's so divine with it. You can try to align with it and get in line with it. This is the energy, call it a synergy, all of the enemy. God is defending me. How to repent and spit rounds at the enemy. All you pretend to be, all on your belly, you crawl like a centipede. I don't forget them with rounds and I spit them, and I'm gonna hit them because I'm gonna come with the energy. Come with the energy, God, I'm gonna come with the energy. Come with the energy. Come with the energy, God, I'm gonna come with the energy. Come with the energy. Come with the energy, God, I'm gonna come with the energy. Come with the energy. Come with the energy, God, I'm gonna come with the energy. I command that you clap your hands. Glory to the one and only Son of Man. He's the one to get the victory, and it was meant to be. And if you sent for me, then you were sent to be another symphony. And when I walk on waves like I went to sea. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just approve the myths of a fool, the stench. Everybody losing grips. I begin this movement. This is the millennium of menace movement. God over money, yeah, we've been improving. And we go where the sinners grooving, and we get them to repent and moving. So they will polarize and demoralize. If we can mobilize, get them in the heart. Bless the nation. Yes, you're facing stress and taking tests and making restoration. Breath is taking hesitation. My skills don't come with an expiration, huh? Only we got it, we get up in the mid, parting with the wisdom, and how do we get forgiven, huh? This is the energy, call it a synergy, all of the enemy. God is defending me. How to repent and spit rounds at the enemy. All you pretend to be, all on your belly, you crawl like a centipede. I don't forget them with rounds and I spit them, and I'm gonna hit them because I'm gonna come with the energy. Come with the energy, God, I'm gonna come with the energy. Come with the energy. Come with the energy, God, I'm gonna come with the energy. Come with the energy. Come with the energy, God, I'm gonna come with the energy. Come with the energy. Come with the energy, God, I'm gonna come with the energy.
So if you can stand the heat, stay out the kitchen. This high voltage energy, but we not play around. My team can never lose what it was written. If you're riding with the ups, then you must stand down.